everyone, it's Melissa from MYSHA. Just thought I'd make a video today about new moon. Next Monday evening for us here in Australia on the 19th of January. It's new moon in Capricorn and I am very excited about the evening. We've got a beautiful circle planned with soul sisters, which is always a wonderful way to spend the evening. And I wanted to talk about some of the meaning behind new moon because it's a perfect opportunity, whether you can come to our event or not. It's actually sold out, so if you've booked in, great. If not, you can do these simple things at home to make the most of this time of year. The first new moon of the year is a very auspicious time for setting new intentions about any creative projects or goals or aims or missions that you have in your mind, in your heart, for this year, for 2026. Also, this year is a 1 year. So that makes this beginning, pioneering, setting new goals energy very very potent. That's what I want to say. Particularly strong. If you've thought about what you want to do, if you've already started to sketch out some goals and steps as to how you might reach them, or you've thought about a bit of a vision, or maybe you've even put some things up on your wall, or any manifesting techniques that you're usually using at this time of year, absolutely fantastic time to be doing all of that. And the energy can only support you. I think the thing to remember, and this is something that I touched on recently in a reel, is that we need to remember more and more this year that we are energetic, spiritual beings having this human experience. It's a paradigm shift for a lot of people who've been living in, the 9 to 5 kind of mindset and going to work and earning a living and providing, for your kids and your family and, looking after a home and all of the maintenance. And it's hard work, living in this 3D field. Things really start to shift when we realize that we're not just physical beings, that we're energetic beings. We are literally a field of energy moving through this earth, and we are a part of a greater whole, which is this earth, and the earth is a part of the greater whole cosmos. So we're all interconnected, we're all interlinked, and the field of energy that we are is very potent and much more important and much more powerful than a computer will ever be. So all those people who are worried about AI and all of those things, let's stand true in our form as human beings, as spiritual beings. Our field of energy is so potent. You can tap into this, and one way to prove it to yourself is by setting yourself some goals this new moon and just seeing how it goes for a couple of months. Do an experiment with yourself. There are a couple of techniques that I'd like to share with you in this video that I think will really help you to tune into this possibility in your field. The quantum science behind it is purely backed and proven time and time again. I don't need to quote all of those references here. You can go and do the research yourself. But I think it's my job to be a reminder and a bit of a light worker, a bit of a lighthouse that shows people that when you focus on what you really want to achieve, and when you set yourself a goal, it will happen with your consistent focus, with your manifesting energy pointed towards that goal. One of the most favorite things that I do at the beginning of every year, but I've done it really with a lot more energy and intention this year, is to sit down and create a map of the things that are on my agenda for the year, so that I can put that map up on my wall and be seeing it every morning when I wake up and every night when I go to bed, and any time that I'm passing by as well. And I don't just make a map by, jotting those things down on a big sheet of paper in circles so that and different colors as well really helps me. But I don't just do that. I also then surround that map with images of my spiritual support people or beings. So anybody who's been a champion of you in your life, grab a photo of them, stick it around those things that help you to draw positive energy into your projects. Literally, you are rewiring your brain and you are helping the energy of your field align to this new way of thinking. If that's not there, if you haven't got anything up on your wall and you don't have any of this stimulus, then what are you thinking about? Where are you placing your focus? It's usually on worries and woes and, all the grumbles of the day, or things you've got to get done, or fears about this or that. So to replace that, which is really not that difficult, really, sit down this new moon, write down some of the things that you really want, create a map for yourself, be as creative as you want to be, plot those things on a big sheet of paper, draw circles around the things that are more important, give them a colour, give them a frequency, match something that's creative to a creative colour in your mind. Don't let anybody tell you what colours mean. It's up to you what colours mean. Choose the colours that are appropriate. Choose the font you want to use. And then take it from there. Surround those things with people or spiritual beings. I always use angels, my angels of support, any kind of guides or helpers. Some people, if you're Christian, you would definitely want to put Jesus Christ there. If you're a Hindu, you might want to put Ganesha, the obstacle clearer. I love to put Goddess Tara next to mine because she shows me compassion and patience. Lakshmi, the goddess Lakshmi, is a beautiful one for manifesting as well. There are so many beautiful gods, goddesses, creative beings that you can add to your area. And if you're not into any of that stuff, that's cool as well. You might just put a rainbow, represent hope for yourself in some way. Show that you have faith in your goals. Show that you are really focusing on the things this year that matter to you, and be that primal energy that these things need to get kick-started. The other thing that is the second thing that I wanted to offer you today that is a really powerful tool when you're doing your manifesting at new moon time is, of course, to have a ceremony. So it's a beautiful thing to connect to nature through the 4 elements. Light a candle for fire. You can place a feather or run your fan for the element of air. Have a bowl of water or a glass of water for water. And for earth, I like to use crystals or leaves or flowers or a plant, whatever it is from nature, maybe a shell, something that reminds you of the earth element. And then place those things around your candle and any other items. I'm really sweating today, as you can see. Any other items that really help your ceremony, to help you to get into reverence, into that state of mind that is authentic and true and sincere. And then with that, you can read out aloud the things that you've written down on your map, or you can sing a mantra. You can say a mantra. You can write yourself an affirmation. You could do a little bit of yoga or a meditation, and it just helps to make alive your intentions. Such rituals are very powerful on the new moon and full moon, all of the moon phases. But yeah, definitely this new moon on the 19th for us here in the Southern Hemisphere is a very wonderful time for us all to hunker down, do some intention setting, draw your goals or write them down, create a representation in art if that takes your fancy. I do it all. And then I have my friends over, my beautiful soul sisters over to celebrate, to sing, to talk, to wisdom share, to, meditate, to have a sound healing, all of those wonderful things that help us to integrate as whole beings. Because it is this flow of energy in our field when we're doing the art practice, or when we're performing ceremony, or if we're singing or meditating or receiving a sound healing. All of these things help to shift our energy and keep it moving and flowing. When we're stuck, or when we're depressed, or when we're feeling unsettled in some way, that's because there's not that beautiful, calm energy flow through our system. So the arts really help us there. And MYSHA is such a wonderful model for these things because it integrates all of the arts and healthy living practices to help us to focus on what we really truly want to be experiencing this lifetime. I hope that's been helpful to you. Happy new moon blessings to you from me, and I hope to see you soon. You should know that you are an important being. Blessings.